Live from WRAL News headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
A fiery rollover crash shut down a main highway in Nash County, and the owner of a plane that veered hundreds of miles off course before crashing reveals who was on board. We have you covered on breaking news at home and around the country to start your day.
And two of our counties are under a level 1 risk for severe storms for later on today. I'll show you why it won't affect most of us.
And you might be paying more at the pump if you're taking a road trip this summer. The reason behind a possible sudden spike in prices that experts think is on the way. Temperature-wise, it's going to feel more like summer this week as well, at least back to normal. Good morning, everyone. Great to have you with us on this Monday as we kick off a new work week. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Yeah, we had a hot Saturday, and then yesterday it was weird turnabout, wasn't it?
It was kind of chilly during some hours.
Yeah, Elizabeth called it pleasantly cool, and I would have to agree as we get over to the WRAL Severe Weather Center and see what's ahead for today.
The heat is coming. You know it is. We're definitely living on borrowed time with this lovely weather that we've seen. We got a hint of it definitely on Saturday. We hit 89. We still haven't officially hit 90 degrees yet, but it's definitely coming. Look at this pretty sunrise here in Chapel Hill. Just a couple of clouds there, 57 degrees. We have a wind coming out of the west right now at just 5 miles per hour. We have a level 1 risk for severe storms for the western half of Chatham County and most of Moore County. But when we walk through Futurecast, you'll see that even in those counties, it just doesn't look like there's much chance of seeing any rain. We do have some cloud cover that will be streaming in from the west. If you're in one of the western counties, you're going to see some clouds this morning up until around lunchtime. Once we get past lunchtime, we see mostly clear skies, and then a weak disturbance, little weak front comes dropping in tonight. But that's 7, 8, 9 o'clock. You can see an isolated shower or two back to our west, but it just doesn't look like much is going to happen for us right here. Temperatures are feeling great today. Right now, 51 in South Hills, 50 in Rocky Mountain, 47 in Goldsboro, 57 in Southern Pines right now, and around the Triangle. Temperatures are anywhere from 5 to about 10 or so degrees cooler than they were this time yesterday. Lovely lunch hour. Our humidity stays nice and low today, mid-70s at noon. Highs will be in the low 80s this afternoon. Brian.
Here at 6:01, just getting reports of a minor crash on Lewisburg Road right around Perry Creek Road. This is north of 540. Not seeing any delays at this point, but with a minor crash like this, I think you can expect to see some police activity over on the side of the road perhaps. And a reminder about North Carolina's move over law. When you see those flashing lights, you need to scoot over at least one lane to give them some room to work. Looking good on 40 westbound through Wake County right now. Live sensor data indicating no delays from 42 in Johnston County all the way out toward the 540 interchange.
Brian, thanks. Breaking overnight, a stretch of US 64 is back open after a fiery rollover crash shut it down for hours. New video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker shows traffic backed up early this morning. This is in Nash County near State Highway 231 on 64. You can see the burned out shell of a car that flipped over off the side of the road. Crews cleaned up the crash around 2 this morning. We've made calls to investigators to learn whether anyone was hurt and what caused the crash.
Also breaking news from overnight, investigators say there are no survivors at the site of a plane crash that prompted military intervention. 4 people were on the plane that went down near a forest in Virginia. This map shows its flight path. The owners of the jet, a husband and wife, told several media outlets that their daughter, 2-year-old granddaughter, and a nanny were all on board. They were returning to New York after a trip to a home here in North Carolina. The flight took off from Tennessee but stopped making contact and then went hundreds of miles off course, flying through restricted airspace over Washington, D.C. And 2 fighter jets scrambled to intercept that plane. Yeah, those are security cameras capturing the sonic boom made by those fighter jets. Investigators say the jets found the pilot of the small plane unresponsive. They did not say what may have led to the crash. Both the FAA and NTSB will look into the cause.
Children dealing with a mental health crisis will have a new option to get help. The first behavioral health urgent care center in the Triangle, designed just for kids, opens today. WRAL's Laura Levine is live in Fuquay-Varina with how this center could help you and your family. What a resource this will be, Laura.
Absolutely, Renee. And starting today, children and their caregivers can walk through these doors here behind me at the Hope Center on Ramsden Street. We're talking about 24-hour access, 365 days a year. It's the first of its kind center in Wake County. The Hope Center for Youth and Family Crisis is designed to help families with children ages 5 to 17 who in the past may have felt like they had nowhere else to turn to for help. The center provides access to assessment, stabilization, and treatment planning in a staff secure and therapeutic environment. Doctors say the need for this is great. According to the CDC, feelings of persistent sadness and hopelessness, as well as suicidal thoughts and behaviors, increased by 40% among young people even in the years leading up to the pandemic.
Prior to COVID, not a lot of attention was paid to it, and I think that the pandemic and being isolated at home just exacerbated the mental health challenges our children have.
They also say the intervention help here can also help reduce the strain on EMS as well as hospitals and law enforcement. They also will provide a mobile response unit throughout central North Carolina. Laura Levine, WRAL News in Fuquay-Varina.
Today, Governor Roy Cooper will announce a new campaign to keep children safe from gun violence. It's called NC Safe, stands for Secure All Firearms Effectively. The campaign will focus on teaching people about gun safety and safe gun storage. It comes as new data from the state shows the rate of gun death among children more than doubled between 2019 and 2021. Today's announcement is 2 p.m. at the Executive Mansion in Raleigh. Today's announcement also comes a day after a teenager was shot in Raleigh. Police found the girl just before 7 yesterday morning at an apartment complex on Park Glen Drive. She is expected to survive. They've not shared any other information about a motive or if they've made any arrests. Neighbors say the girl's 16 years old and they want action to stop violence like this.
Gun control situation is critical. And we need to do more. We need to do more to make people safe.
Just continue to, be vocal about it and for us to not be afraid to stand up and talk about things.
Police are asking anyone with information about the shooting to come forward.
If you live in Wake County, your property taxes might be going up. County commissioners could vote today on their budget for the next fiscal year. That fiscal year starts in July. The proposed budget includes big investments in public safety, housing affordability, child welfare, behavioral health, and education. It would also increase the property tax rate by more than 3 cents. So let's take the median value of a home valued at $400,000. You'll be paying an extra $130 a year in property taxes. You can read more about what's included in the budget on WRAL.com.
Also, tax dollars will be up for debate this morning in the fast-growing community of Johnston County. The Board of Commissioners there is holding a public hearing on the county's manager's budget for the fiscal year, which starts next month. It wouldn't raise property taxes, but offers a cost of living increase for all county employees and creates dozens of new jobs. The budget also includes less funding than what was requested for public schools. Today's public hearing is at 10 at the county courthouse.
And happening right now in the WRAL Live Center, we are happy to report that all animals are safe at the Metro Richmond Zoo in Virginia after a fire happened late last night. This is a fire official here giving an update, but fire and EMS received a 911 call around 9:50 last night. Several buildings were engulfed in flames, including a maintenance building and a veterinary clinic. Initially, officials say they thought there may have been some animals lost within that building, but they have all been located. They're all safe this morning. So far, no injuries have been reported. This is an active investigation right now. The cause of the fire also under investigation.
If you are planning a road trip for your summer vacation, you might want to be ready for higher prices at the pump. OPEC, the group that controls a lot of the world's oil supply, just decided to cut production. Experts say that means we could all soon be paying more for gas. But new data in at 4 a.m. this morning shows AAA prices staying steady from now. The average in North Carolina, $3.35, same as yesterday. It's also much lower than the average this time last year, which was $4.51.
President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill will be in North Carolina this week. It comes as the president ramps up his re-election efforts. The Bidens plan to visit Rocky Mount and Fort Liberty on Friday. The president is expected to talk about workforce training programs and their benefits for students and job growth. The Bidens will then meet with service members to talk about the First Lady's efforts to support military families. Top Republicans will also be in our state this week. Former President Donald Trump, along with rival candidates Ron DeSantis and Mike Pence, are all going to be in Greensboro for the North Carolina GOP convention. Pence is one of 3 people expected to announce his candidacy for the 2024 presidential race this week. Reports suggest he'll join North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum and former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie in the Republican field.
New this morning, the NBA Finals are all tied up right now.
4 seconds, Murray, step back, three-pointer, one go, fight for the rebound, Martin, and it's over.
There was the Denver Nuggets missed a last-second opportunity to force overtime in Game 2 last night. That allowed the Miami Heat to claim their first victory in this best-of-7 series. 111-108 was the final. The series moves now to Miami for the next 2 games starting Wednesday. Still ahead this morning, a breakthrough treatment for brain cancer.
I would call this a game changer.
What new research is revealing about the first big development in fighting brain tumors in decades.
And a close call on the water, caught on camera. How China and the U.S. are explaining this encounter that brought 2 warships within a few hundred feet of each other.
And some nice weather on the way. Our best chance of rain will come Wednesday night. Behind that, are really cool on Thursday in the 70s. I'll go through the timeline for Wednesday's storms coming up.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13. 2 of our counties are under a level 1 risk for severe storms today. It's just the western half of Chatham County and then most of Moore County. Damaging winds are possible, but when we go through futurecasts coming up in a few minutes, you'll see our potential for any showers or thunderstorms across any part of the viewing area today looks really minimal. There is some cloud cover out there. You can see that there in Sanford as we have a beautiful sunrise here in progress. And the farther west you go, the more clouds you'll see between now and lunchtime. Everybody really looks pretty clear for us as we get through most of the day today. Temperatures are in the upper 50s, low 60s as you're heading out the door. The last week of school for some kids are already out, but I think everybody gets out by the end of this week. When kids get out of school today, it'll be pleasant. Low humidity temperatures will be in the low 80s. Brian?
6:14 as we check traffic around the Triangle. Still have a report of a crash at Lewisburg Road at Perry Creek Road on the north side of Raleigh. A minor crash. You may still see a little police activity out there, but we're not seeing any problems on the sensors. Quiet around the rest of the region right now as we take a look at those live sensor readings and those live cameras. Up in Durham at 85 at Red Mill Road. Both directions looking fine. No delays this morning on 85 between Butner and Durham.
Brian, thank you. New this morning, the U.S. and China are trading accusations about a close call in the ocean. Take a look. New video from the U.S. military shows a Chinese warship coming dangerously close to a U.S. destroyer within 500 feet. It happened in the Taiwan Strait as American and Canadian ships were doing a joint military exercise. China accused the U.S. of provoking risk in the region. The U.S. says China broke maritime rules. China claims Taiwan is its territory. President Biden has said the U.S. would defend the island against a Chinese invasion.
4 people are now in custody and warrants are out for a 5th after a shooting on a busy beach boardwalk on Memorial Day. We told you last week about the violence that sent people running in Hollywood, Florida. This video shows the chaos after those shots were fired. 9 people were hurt, including a baby. 2 are still in the hospital. Police arrested 2 people in the days after the shooting and took 2 more into custody over the weekend. They are still looking for 1 gunman. Investigators believe the shooting started after an argument.
New this morning, North Carolina ranks in the top 10 states for dog attacks against U.S. Postal Service workers. New data shows more than 5,300 employees were attacked last year while delivering mail. 146 of those were here in North Carolina. We rank number 10. Meanwhile, California took the top spot for the most dog bites on postal workers. The new rankings come during National Dog Bite Awareness Week. It's an effort to keep mail carriers safe.
There's a new hope for people battling deadly forms of brain cancer. A new study in the New England Journal of Medicine shows an experimental drug blocked the growth of the most common form of low-grade brain tumors called gliomas. Patients who used the drug saw the cancer grow twice as slowly as those who didn't, reducing the risk of cancer progression and death by 61%. It was so successful, researchers later offered the treatment to members of the placebo group.
They're in their 30s, 40s, early 50s. They're at the height of their professional and personal life. I would call this a game changer.
The breakthrough comes as scientists have struggled for decades to make any progress in the fight against brain cancers.
Meet the Press will look a lot different starting this fall here on WRAL. After 9 years as moderator, Chuck Todd says he will step down from the show in September.
I've let work consume me for nearly 30 years. I can't remember the last time I didn't wake up before 5 or 6 a.m. And as I've watched too many friends and family let work consume them before it was too late, I promised my family I wouldn't do that.
Todd will remain at NBC in a new role, chief political analyst. NBC's chief White House correspondent, Kristen Welker, will take his spot.
Competition may be over, but conversations will soon get back underway about bringing the soccer tournament back to Cary for a second year. Take a look at this $1 million moment here. Connecticut Newtown FC won the inaugural TST at Wake Med Soccer Park yesterday. A spokesperson says the 4-day tournament brought in 35,000 fans.
I thought the format was really awesome. I thought having all the different fields and the accessibility, I mean, on some of the fields you could really walk right up to the pitch and stand there and be a foot away from a really awesome player.
Organizers of the tournament are now shifting their focus to the basketball tournament, which begins next month. And they say they'll discuss bringing TST back to Cary in the coming months. Certainly got good weather for it, even though with the heat on Saturday running around on the pitch sounded like a bad deal. Elizabeth Gardner of the WRAL Severe Weather Center with a look around town here on a Monday.
Yeah, Sunday was a much better day for running around. Well, we were stuck in the clouds for a good chunk of the day, at least the first half of the day. Lots of sunshine in parts of the viewing area right now. You can see that bright sky there in Goldsboro. In Apex, however, you can see some cloud cover. We do have some clouds that are trying to encroach or move in from the west. I'll show you how that could affect us, how long that sticks around coming up. But Chapel Hill's looking beautiful this morning, courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant. And of course, there's our Fayetteville newsroom there on Hay Street. Here's a look at the big picture. We do have wind coming out of the north, at least in the mid and upper levels right now. We'll see a little disturbance that starts to move in and bring the potential for some scattered storms in the western part of the state today. And of course, the level 1 risk includes the western half of Chatham County and most of Moore County. Damaging wind would be the biggest threat. But let's walk through Futurecast for you. Notice the western part of the viewing area has the potential for some cloud cover between now and lunchtime. It doesn't really move eastward, and at 5 o'clock we're mainly clear. We do have a disturbance that'll drop in on us, but right now Futurecast is just not showing much rain with that. So I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. On Tuesday, same story. We'll have a disturbance that rolls in late in the day, but for the most part we're going to end up with some nice bright skies. Late in the evening we may see some scattered thunderstorms in our southern counties. That may be closer to 10, 11 o'clock midnight on Tuesday. The best chance of rain all week will come on Wednesday. This is Tuesday morning again. We've got that little trough of low pressure that could kick off an isolated shower or thunderstorm with that low kind of swinging by. This is 5 p.m. on Wednesday. We'll be dry most of the day, and then late Wednesday night, this is going to be 1 a.m. on Thursday morning. That's going to be our best chance of rain all week as a cold front drops in on us. We'll start to brighten up on Thursday. Thursday looks mainly dry, and so does Friday too. We may get back into another chance of some rain over the weekend, but for the most part, it looks like a fairly dry week for us. We take a look at rain between now and Wednesday. Wednesday's showers likely to be in the maybe 1/4 of an inch category, and then maybe adding another 1/10 of an inch, maybe late Thursday into early Friday. So our rain chances, again, we've got that 20% Wednesday. That's during the day. It's going to be about a 30% chance overnight on Wednesday night. Check in 7-day forecast. One of our warmest days this week will be tomorrow at 87. Feels pretty pleasant for us today. We'll see a high of 82 with a nice low humidity. Behind Wednesday's front, 78 will end up being our coolest. List Day on Thursday, Brian.
6:20, and as we check in around the Triangle right now, we do have a report of that crash up on the north side of Raleigh. Still there, just check with Raleigh 911. Lewisburg Road at Perry Creek Road, a minor crash around that intersection. We've not seen any delays on the sensors there, but I think it's likely you might see some police activity on the side of the road, so do move over. And as we check the major routes around the rest of Wake County, we're not picking up any big problems right now. When I head out to Cary to US 1 and 64 at Tryon Road, the traffic you see heading toward us is northbound, coming in from Apex and from 55 and Apex up to I-40 in Raleigh. Right now, we are delay-free. The southbound side also looking good through Cary.
Apple is hoping to change the game when it comes to virtual and augmented reality. Just ahead, what we know about an announcement on the company's biggest gamble to earn your money in years.
Plus, bear sightings are on the rise in the Triangle, and experts say it's no coincidence. Their explanation for why you're likely to see more in your backyard this time of year.
Then ahead on today, the mother of Ethan Chapin, one of the 4 University of Idaho students killed in their home, is sharing her story in an exclusive interview.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Social media is buzzing about a potentially big reveal from Apple that could come in just a few hours.
You know, they love their big reveals,
Sure.
right? Brian Schrader here now with What's Trending. Hey, Brian.
They are finding a new way to get our money, everybody. Apple is expected to show off a product that's been hyped for months, a mixed reality headset. It would have a similar interface to the iPhone, apparently, but it would be augmented reality, meaning that you could use cameras and sensors to allow you to manipulate the display with your hands.
Yeah, not just your hands, but they're saying with your vision as well as with the use of Siri. I mean, folks are talking about this, and they, like we said, they love their big reveals. Like, this could be the biggest thing since the Apple Watch came out.
What?
Yeah.
You know, this is video that, if anybody cares about me in 20 years, might be dredged up. But do you really want to wear something on your head to? Yeah.
You know, we'll see.
I don't know.
We'll see virtually.
We will. Yes. Right. My avatar will tell you all about it. Also trending, a special serenade for Elton John. Well, take my word for it. That's the soccer team Manchester City singing your song. It's kind of hard to pick it out there, but, you know, bless their hearts. Elton was there to greet the team after they won the Football Association Challenge Cup.
And I love that instead of Elton John doing the singing, they were the ones doing the serenading. But somewhere in there, it was supposed to be, you know, you can tell everybody.
Yeah.
We got the cup or something to that effect.
Yeah.
I didn't quite make that up.
Couldn't make that.
And nobody could, but like Brian
That's
said,
the thought that counts.
the thought was there. Bless
That's
their
right.
hearts. It was great stuff. And Elton John was there, so that's a big deal.
There you go.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Brian. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and the rest of the Kansas City Chiefs football team will be at the White House today, rubbing shoulders with President Joe Biden and his staff, celebrating their Super Bowl victory. This is the team's first time at the White House. They were unable to attend after winning the Super Bowl in 2020 because of the pandemic. We have breaking news. We're following from overnight. A fiery crash backs up traffic for miles in Nash County with a cleanup that kept crews busy well into the morning.
And a lot of us are seeing sunshine right now, but take a look at Fayetteville. This is a live look at some cloud cover there. I'll show you why it's cloudy here and when those clouds will move out coming up.